Alright. 3, 2, 1, action.
Danny's World lore simplified by yours truly, Rio.
Danny's World is a game where you traverse through floors in garden views. The main character of Danny's World is technically Danny, and he has friends like Astro and Pebble. All of these characters are mains, and mains are overlooked by people called toon handlers. And these toon handlers overlook and take care of the toons. And as of now, we know that they only take care of the main toons, not the noob toons that T1Q uses. But that's it for the overview. I'm gonna let you off to Erect for part 2.
Alright, talking about part 2, let's talk more specific about toons and how they exist. Basically, toons in simple are just these TV show characters, where basically they're just these side characters, or basically the background characters, or maybe just an event characters in general, because they're not the main point. The main point are the main characters, which goes on, which is the Sprout, V, Astro, Pebble, and Shelly. And there's also another main character that we also have been talking about, and that is has to be Dandy's World, which is Dandy. And now Dandy, we don't really know specifically for now if he's actually the first one to be created, but all we know that he was the first toon to be represented to us, as we can see that he's the first one in the shop, he's the person in the thumbnail, the game, he's also the person in the face of garden view. So we don't really know exactly about him, but all we know is that specifically Dandy is actually the villain of the show too. Now, how do we know this specifically? We have to talk about the lore, which will be told by my friend T1.
Alright, so Dandy, if you look in the game, Dandy seems like a pretty normal person. If you like just pay attention to him, he seems pretty normal at first, and then you realize that he has a twisted version. And now his twisted version, once you get 50% research, you can it will show a description of why, like what he did. So like it will say like something like he was the one that started the Icar operation. So now the Icar operation is, we have like no idea, but we think that it's like Dandy sends out like toons down and then like do the machines, and that's why you like get Icar from that. And now Twisteds come from these Dandy so has this, let's say, water gun, and then he filled it up with this black liquid called Icar, and then onto the toons. And then once it happens, I'm pretty sure the toon just dies and then like turns into a zombie or something. Now, once they're twisted, they're evil. They're probably crazy, and they have like red eyes, and then they're sometimes bigger, and they're on, yeah. Pretty much that's how evil they are. Like, we have no idea why, but we'll hand it to like back to Erect.
You two are.
About the part 4 about this video, which is basically, why is there so much toons in general? Well, we don't actually know why toons keep reappearing, or there's actually duplicate versions of themselves in further floors. All we know is that they might just be clones of each other. So, because of that, let's make a theory of why are there more than one. So, the first theory is that basically they might just be robots. And basically, let's be honest with ourselves. These guys are living in a real world. So, if we're really talking about these toons, they won't really exist in real life, right? So, the most rational idea we can ever have is that it's basically robots. But then again, if we look at the animations or the TV shows that are shown in the game, we could actually see that pretty much they don't move like zigzag like some type of robots. They move pretty fluidly, and so this theory doesn't really go that far, does it? So the next theory goes to basically them being actually Icar monsters. If you don't know, in the game you have to be collecting these Icars, and basically Icors pretty much turned them into these twisted versions, just like it was said. So maybe the theory is that they were made by Icar and they were given a limited amount of Icar so that they stay stable. But basically giving them more Icar than what they are supposed to pretty much turns them into these chaotic creatures, and yeah, just twisted in general. You can see that when you die you have this black particle that just comes out, and so this kind of backs up as a most famous theory. And not only that, we could also know that pretty much in the game, the toons, or specifically Dandy being the first, is able to turn into Twisted if you don't actually give him enough Ichor. And so that backs us to the point that maybe these guys are made from Ichor. And so we still don't know, though. It's just a theory. And now for the last one, it's just a joke. They might just be a devil's work. You know, we never just know. They might just be like hell spawn. That's why they're evil. They just remember, oh my god, I'm an evil person. Now, we go to the part on why this all can happen. Why does Dandy turn these toons into Twisted? Why does he turn his friends into Twisted? And so, we don't specifically know why. But all we know is that Astro and Pebble has made conversation pointing out on why this happens. Like, specifically shown here. Basically, where Pebble and Astro is kind of concerned about their friend Dandy, where they're kind of worried on what's going on with him. So this kind of backs up proof that he might just be going with some type of safe base, or basically getting corrupted first. We just never know. But all that said, that's all you have to know about Dandy's world. And yeah, it's very, very confusing lore for now. Thank you for watching.
Yeah. Bye guys. Subscribe to my channel WSG. I make amazing
No
content.
sponsorship allowed.
Keep that.
No advertisement allowed. Get out.